this is the worst time to be unemployed too, like, girl. And now I'm just thinking about the money that I lost, the income that I lost. I'm broke as fuck. Rents too. Like, I'm like losing my mind now. 2 days I've been like chill, like whatever, like it is what it is. And now it's like, oh, I'm so screwed, y'all. I literally am.
I am an uninsured American, and I had a trip to the emergency room about a month ago. I got the bill yesterday, and I just want to go over some of these charges with everybody. IV therapy for 1 bag of saline, $935.78. Laboratory services for a blood draw, $1,352.75. CT scan imaging, $3,986.63. Emergency center charge, $2,218.08. Pulmonary services, $34.76. Pharmacy services for Benadryl in my IV was $192.74. Cardiac services, $610.83 for a whopping total of $9,331.57.
I'm fucking stressed out! I'm fucking stressed! We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to Coachella and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro.
America is collapsing before our very eyes. Restaurants are closing their doors for good in my city at a record pace. They're blaming it on a slow season, but I think it's something else. You can't tell me the amount of abandoned strip malls that I drive by on a daily basis is normal. I know you've seen it too. All these places just get replaced with the Capybara Cafe de Jour or a flower store to placate the masses, if you know what I mean. There used to be 24-hour diners, family-owned restaurants, even bookstores, I don't know, third spaces. Now, nothing. Luxury apartments that sit vacant forever. Grocery stores that have been closed for 10 years. So much wasted space in empty parking lots until some TikTok trend comes, opens for 6 months, and then that closes too. I know I'm not alone in this, but yet every single time I bring it up, I get all the bots in my comments telling me the economy's never been better. But I ask for who? Like 100 people at the top? So the billionaires are doing great. I don't care. People like you and me, we're struggling out here. All my friends live in vans. And if we are lucky enough to have apartments or houses, we're living behind locked doors and closed blinds because there's no community here anymore. Restaurants are just the beginning. They're the canary in the coal mine. Once they're gone, so are all of our meeting places, our birthday parties, our community, and third spaces. They're not just a place to buy food. They're a pulse of the neighborhood. And also, as a live singer, something hugely important to my job. I used to sing 5 nights a week. Now I'm lucky if I can find a Sunday night gig. So I'm just here to say, if this is what a booming economy sounds like, it must be the sound of doors slamming shut. And I don't know about you, but I'm making my exit plan. We're moving to Portugal soon, where they still have cafes and restaurants that people actually go to. If you find that interesting, stick around.
I'm so angry and I'm so done with the American medical system. I've not been okay for the past 3 years. I have not been able to do what people my age can do. I don't have the ability to live a healthy life. There is something wrong with me, and I don't know what it is. Every time I go to a primary doctor, they write me off and they dismiss me and they tell me I have anxiety and they push me aside and they put me on benzos. There was a time where I was on so many prescriptions I couldn't think. And so I got off of them and I still don't feel good. I never wake up and I feel good. For the past 3 years, I've never woken up and felt good. And it's exhausting. And no doctor gives a shit. So I went to a primary who did care a little. And they sent me a referral to go to cardio. I couldn't get into cardio for 2 months. So I don't even have that appointment appointment yet, but I got an MRI because I was in a car accident 2 years ago and I hit my head on the windshield. And they never did any testings at that hospital afterwards. I just sat there in the hallway with a neck brace on for 18 hours. And so I got my MRI done. And I called to try to make an appointment with a neurologist. And the neurologist told me that I have to go to the cardiologist first and make sure that's okay. And then if there's nothing wrong with my heart, then they'll give a shit. I can't live like this anymore. I need a doctor to care about me. I need them to help me figure out what's wrong because I can't live like this anymore. I can't do it.
America's downfall won't be caused by foreign enemies, economic collapse, or lack of innovation. It will be destroyed by the very things it was built on: racism, greed, power, and the exploitation of the marginalized. So let's start with racism. America's had a centuries-long addiction to white supremacy, from slavery to Jim Crow to mass incarceration to modern-day suppression. The system wasn't just built on racism, it still depends on it. And you can't build trust and unity and long-term prosperity when the foundation is hatred and division. Now let's talk about the power, because America doesn't just chase power, it hoards it. At the very top, power is concentrated in the hands of a few, bought and sold through billion-dollar lobbying firms and dark money, and the people at the bottom, well, they're distracted and divided and disposable. But power with no accountability always turns inward. It eventually devours its own. Then there's greed. America's true religion. Every institution, healthcare, housing, education, even justice is for sale. The rich don't pay taxes, corporations exploit workers, billionaires fly to space while families can't afford insulin. And no emperor has ever survived when it values profit more than people. And finally, exploitation. This country built its wealth off the backs of stolen people on stolen land. And to this day, it thrives off keeping Black, brown, indigenous, immigrant, and poor communities in struggle. It's modern day plantation capitalism, wrapped in flags and hashtags. But here's the warning. You can only ignore the cries of the oppressed for so long before the system breaks. While America continues to argue about whether racism is real, the rest of the world is moving forward, investing in education, universal healthcare, green energy, and collective progress. They're building bridges, America's burning them. And yes, if this country doesn't confront its demons, it will collapse from the inside out. Not because of the lack of greatness, but because of its refusal to share that greatness with everyone. The future won't be stolen by guns or war. It will be lost in boardrooms, courtrooms, and classrooms where equity is denied and truth is buried. And when America falls, it won't be a tragedy. It'll be a consequence.
We are entering stage 4 of a 4-part economic collapse, and I'm going to explain it to you really quickly and easily so everybody gets this. Step 1 is the cushion. That's when everybody's got money and the economy's booming. Coming out of COVID, everyone had extra cash to spend. You had a stimulus check, you had savings built up because all the stores were closed and you couldn't leave your house and you had all this extra money sitting. So coming out of COVID, we were sitting really pretty and the economy started booming. Step 2 is the bridge. That's when the savings runs out and everybody starts turning to credit to start covering all of their bills and expenses. And they've built up this lifestyle that they want to maintain, but now it's more expensive. So we start pulling out the credit cards more often and we start going into more debt. We start buying fancier cars like we wanted to, but we're having to pay more for them and now our bills are higher and our payments are higher and everything just costs more, but we still got credit and the economy looks great. Why would we worry about this? Step 3 is the wall. That's when savings are gone. That's when your credit card debt starts to get to the maximum, when you don't have any more credit limit to spend. This is when everybody starts realizing that they have to start pawning stuff off, which we started seeing. This is when everybody starts shopping more economically. This is why we started seeing a higher increase in high-income families, in Walmart, and Dollar Tree even. This is when you start seeing people start pinching, because it's starting to hurt. Step 4 that we're entering right now is the reset. This is when inflation has gotten to a breaking point. This is when people just can't survive anymore. This is now because lower income and certain neighborhoods are starting to see higher rates of foreclosures. We're starting to see more businesses closing. We're starting to see everybody tightening down because they're trying to figure out how they're going to survive the recession. And this algorithm has played out multiple times in US history. The 70s stagflation is the most similar to what we got going on right now. But just remember that most of the numbers that we're working off of are before the real pain from the tariffs have hit and before you take into account the cost of gas having risen. This is exactly why 40% of US households wouldn't be able to survive a flat tire right now. They don't have the savings and their credit's completely maxed out. And the summer's only going to get worse. Gas prices always rise in summer, and when you add the Iran war on top of it, they're going to just explode. Not to mention that we're going to start seeing the effects of having been in this struggle start coming through in July. So right now it's planting season with farmers, and if the farmers didn't have access to the seeds and the oil and the products and the fertilizers that they needed because of transportation issues and because of shipping issues, because of the oil prices, we're going to start seeing that coming through in July when we have a decrease in available produce and an increase in... And honestly, that goes for most goods. Most goods have to be transported in some fashion, so you're going to start seeing the fallout of those shipping cycles coming through around July. So everything in July is going to immediately, go up 20-ish% minimum. And the only real way to combat this or try to get through it is to go into survival mode. Don't do anything that you don't need to do to survive. Groceries, utilities, rent, that should be pretty much it. Anything that costs anything for fun, sorry, can't happen. And do your best to move all your variable interest rate debt into fixed interest rate debt, such as a personal loan. Close the card after you empty it, and then put it all on a fixed rate loan so that it can't go up on you, because the APRs on credit cards are going to start climbing. Mine personally went from 21 to 26 this past year, and they didn't even say anything. They do it quietly. They do it sneaky. They don't tell you about it since you already signed the dotted line when you open the card saying that they can change their variable rate. But you need to go back and double check it because they're going to start creeping up. Average credit card APRs a couple of years ago, I think it was 2022, was 22%. Now the average is closer to 30. A lot of them I'm seeing are 27 and 30%. And I know it sucks for a lot of people and you don't really have the extra, but put anything you can into your savings account. Try to hang on to it. Try to go into a high yield if you can. But you're going to need the money. Everyone's going to need it before the summer's out.
Predictions that America is about to collapse have appeared throughout history. Yet, the country has repeatedly faced recessions, political division, wars, financial crises, and periods of deep uncertainty, and continue to adapt. That doesn't mean today's concerns are not real. Many families are struggling with the rising cost of living, expensive housing, healthcare costs, and worries about job security. Others point to growing political polarization and declining trust in institutions as signs that deeper problems need attention. At the same time, some economists argue that many of these challenges can improve over time through policy changes, technological innovation, stronger economic growth, and market adjustment. The future isn't predetermined. It depends on decisions made by leaders, businesses, communities, and voters alike. The real question isn't whether America faces challenges, it's whether those challenges are being addressed effectively. Because regardless of political beliefs, most Americans want the same thing: a stable economy, safe communities, affordable health care, opportunities for their children, and confidence that tomorrow will be better than today. So what do you think? Is America going through a temporary period of hardship, or does today's problem require major changes to put the country back on track? Share your thoughts in the comment respectfully, and before you go, do well to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next.